o'clock. Here is the midday news. First, the top stories. Ogun State to pay 8 billion naira to owners of properties demolished for road project. Osinbajo blames weak party structure for presidency, National Assembly crisis. Governor El Rufai made public details of his salary, allowance and security vote. 7 Fulani herdsmen sentenced to life jail for 2016 kidnapping of Olufalaye. North Korea vows to defend itself against attack by the US. Fire guards camp housing migrant in France. I am Damilola Aroyeun, bringing the news in detail shortly. Ogun State government says a total of 8 billion naira is to be paid as compensation to owners of properties demolished for the ongoing road project across the state. Works and Infrastructure Commissioner Mr. Lekwan Degbite made this known to newsmen while accompanying Governor Ibikunle Amosu to inspect the demolition of properties in Abeokuta for the expansion of Adato and Lafewa Road into an expressway. Adegbite said that about 2 billion naira compensation had already been paid to owners of some of the demolished properties across the state. Apart from payment of compensations, the commissioner explains that the state government is providing temporary relocation support for the aged and physically challenged people affected by the demolition exercise. The governor promises that his administration would not abandon any project before leaving office in 2019. Ogun State Muslims Welfare Board will screen all intended programs from the state for this year's holy pilgrimage to Mecca and Medina from Tuesday, April 18th to Thursday, April 20th. The board executive secretary, Alhaji Abdulhakim Tunde Kalejaye, in a statement says, the 3-day exercise will give the agency an opportunity to further subject all the 2017 Hajj applicants to religious and immigration screening. The exercise, according to him, will determine their eligibility to perform the 2017 Hajj and ascertain the level of their payment for the exercise. Kalejaye asked the applicant to come along with their original payment receipt and e-payment to the board's headquarters at Block B, New Secretariat Complex, Okemoson, Abeokuta. The applicants are also requested to consult the board's information unit to ascertain the days that they will be attended to, as only 250 intended pilgrims will be screened on each day of the exercise. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says there is an urgent need for Nigerian politicians to build strong political parties in order to consolidate the gains of the country's young democracy. Osinbajo says for now, Nigeria's political parties are weak, and this is responsible for the rush by politicians to defect from parties that lose elections to the ruling parties. The Vice President, who bears his mind on the state of parties in the country at an event organized by the National Institute for Agency and Strategic Studies in Abuja, blames the weak party structure for the ongoing cold war between the presidency and the National Assembly. Where parties are strong and understand their mission, Osinbajo says they will promote their ideologies and make elected officials on the platform to subscribe to them. For instance, the Vice President recalls that APC during the 2015 polls promised the electorate to fight corruption, diversify the economy, provide security and assist the poor. Now in power, Osinbajo says it is worrisome that APC members at the National Assembly have erected the roadblocks to dismantle the implementation of the policies and programs to actualize the campaign promises. Residents in Lagos State are now to obtain a permit for the existing boreholes sinking of new ones as part of moves to fight the pollution of groundwater in the state. The State Environment Commissioner, Dr. Babatunde Adejare, who expressed concern at the indiscriminate sinking of boreholes in the state, says the permit will enable the creation of a database to ascertain the quality of water being consumed in the state. He explains that the state government will take an inventory of boreholes to trace the source of pollution of underground water. According to Adejare, consumption of 50 drums of water daily from a borehole qualifies for commercial use of borehole, which will attract charges. Governor Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State has blazed the trail in governance by making public his salary, allowances and security votes, as well as the disbursement of allocation from federal account to the local government. The governor released the details in response to the challenge from the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, asking him and other governors to make public their security vote and how they spent it. El-Rufai releasing his monthly pay slip shows he collects 470,521 naira and 74 kobo as salary and allowances, after various deductions from the monthly gross payment totaling 555,966 naira and 74 kobo. The gross salary and allowances before the deductions is as follows: 185,085 naira 75 kobo as a monthly basic salary. Hardship allowance 370,617 naira and 50 kobo, out of which 85,404 is deducted for taxes. On his 2017 security vote, El-Rufai says 1.5 billion naira is voted for the procurement and installation of closed-circuit television camera for the monitoring and surveillance, and 193 million naira for the procurement of geoposition interceptor and location of GSM UMTS system to check the trend, intercept and locate kidnappers' GSM calls. Also, 265 million naira out of the security vote is for the procurement of drones and unmanned aerial vehicles, and 26 million naira for assisting security agencies with communication and logistics. An Akure High Court in Ondo State has sentenced 7 Fulani herdsmen involved in the kidnapping of an elder statesman, Chief Olufalaye, to life imprisonment. The convict Abubakar Autu, Bello Jamu, Humaru Ibrahim, Asahudu Mohide, Abukadri Umar, Babao Kato, and Idris Lawal were however discharged of conspiracy and armed robbery. Justice Williams Olamide in his judgment says the prosecution had proved the case beyond reasonable doubt, found them guilty of kidnapping the former finance minister in his farm in Ilado village near Akure in September 2016. Falaye spent 3 days in the custody of the kidnappers, during which a 5 million naira ransom was paid. But he was later freed in a rescue operation led by the then Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arase. The case prosecutor, Mrs. Adesola Adeyemi Tuki, spoke with newsmen after the judgment. You are still listening to the Midday News on Rock City 101.9 FM. Up next, we bring you foreign, business and sport news. Please do stay with us. In foreign, North Korea has said it will defend itself by powerful force of arms in response to the US deployment of a Navy strike group to the Korean Peninsula. The Foreign Ministry, quoted by state news agency KCNA, said the deployment showed reckless moves for invading had reached a serious phase. The convincing strike group comprises an aircraft carrier and other warships. It was due to make port calls in Australia, but instead has been diverted from Singapore to the West Pacific, where it recently conducted exercises with the South Korean Navy. Meanwhile, South Korea and China, who is North Korea's closest ally, have warned of more stringent sanctions if North Korea conducts more missile tests. A camp housing 1,500 migrants in northern France has been destroyed in a fire that officials said began during a fight between Afghans and Kurds. At least 10 people were injured when the fire tore through closely packed huts at the Grand Sinfé camp near the port of Dunkirk. The French North Coast has been a magnet for migrants trying to reach Britain. The population of the Grand Sinfé camp has grown since last October's destruction of the jungle near Calais, about 40 kilometers away. There have been several violent incidents at the Grand Sinfé camp, which was built by the charity MSF, Doctors Without Borders, and opened in March 2016. In business, the loading of petroleum products has resumed at the Mosimi depot of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) in Shagamu, Ogun State. The reopening of the depot shut down since May 2016, following massive vandalization of the pipeline taking products from the Atlas Cove Jetty in Lagos, is expected to improve product supply in Ogun State and other states in the southwest region. Supervising the reopening of the depot, NNPC Group Managing Director Dr. Makanti Badu says it is a milestone in the quest to ensure sustainable supply of products in the southwest region. From Mosimi Depot, products will be pumped to the satellite depot in Ibadan, Ore, and Ilori Depot. Badu says plans are underway to reopen the system to the pipeline connecting Kaduna, Kano, Jos, and Suleja. Finally, sport news. Super Eagles player Alex Iwobi has been dropped to the Arsenal's under-23 side by manager Arsene Wenger. Iwobi, who has endured a lukewarm season for the Gunners, seems to have paid the price as he played for the under-23s on Monday against Reading's under-23 team at Oakwood Park. He started the game and played for 90 minutes as Arsenal bumped to a 5-2 victory. His participation in the game means he has no chance of playing for the seniors in the Premier League against the Eagles at Selhurst Park. Iwobi, however, seems to harbor no grudges over the development as he had words of support for the under-fire French manager. Iwobi has scored 3 goals in 24 league appearances for Arsenal in the Premier League this season. The Confederation of African Football CAF President Ahmad Ahmad has revealed that he is open to the idea of changing the date of the African Cup of Nations, which currently runs from January to February. European clubs have complained for many years about the Nations Cup date, plus its 2-year staging due to the impact it has on the domestic club calendar. However, Ahmad opened up the possibility that the dates could be subject to change, with some close to him saying it may actually benefit sponsors and broadcasters by switching to the Northern Hemisphere summer. That was the Midday news, and just before we go, the major stories once again. Ogun State to pay 8 billion naira to owners of properties demolished for road project. Osinbajo blames weak party structure for presidency in National Assembly crisis. Governor El Rufai made public details of his salary, allowance and security vote. 7 Fulani herdsmen sentenced to life jail for 2016 kidnapping of Olufalaye. In foreign, we told you that North Korea vows to defend itself against any attack by the US. And also fire God's camp housing migrant in France. For more stories and to listen to us live, please log into our website www.rockcityfmradio.com/live. Thank you for listening. I am Damilola. Aroyeun. Good afternoon.